You're tuned in to Sports from the Hoodwood, the internet's foremost location for the most honest insight, thorough analysis, and unfiltered opinion on the world of sports. Now, once again, here's the man of the hour, After Hours, your host, KJ Green.
Howdy, folks. One more time for 2025. I'm going to run these picks through. One more short show, and then we'll go back to full-length shows here in the new year. The week 17, it just seemed like everything was just off center. It started decent on Christmas, and of course, I know I picked against the Vikings, and people were teasing me about that, and I'm like, hey, I didn't think that the Vikings had the offensive firepower to be able to win. I didn't think Jared Goff was going to throw six interceptions. He threw two, but the Lions turned the ball over 6 times. And I didn't see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. So that should have been a real precursor of how weird the weekend was going to be. Saturday was just an absolute disaster. Both of those picks went the wrong way. I've given up on believing in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have just lost all of my faith. And I really don't understand why all of a sudden teams are just going the opposite way. I finished break even. No thanks to the Rams. I thought Sunday night when the Niners won the shootout against the Bears, when that last pass fell incomplete, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna finish the week 9-7 because there's no way the Rams are gonna lose to Atlanta, right? Wrong. And it's just one of those things where you're just like, oh man, come on. Don't do this to me. So I finished at 8-8. Not a losing week, but not a winning week. So with the endeavor to finish the year strong, I bring to you Week 18 picks. Yes, I'm on my iPad again because the editing suite has been acting silly. But we'll get as much analysis as possible. All odds, as usual, provided by ESPN Bet for entertainment and comparison purposes only. If you bet the Lions and lose, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, because it's just, it's bad. You really are going to pick the Lions and blame me? No, don't do it. Anyway, this is week 18. All the games are, well, I take it back. I shouldn't say all the games are on Sunday because 2 of them are on Saturday. But all the games are divisional games. All the games are crucial. Well, I should say all of them are crucial because most of them are crucial for rivalry purposes or just to finish out the week, the year strong. Week 18 is kind of that, okay, playoff seeding is still up for grabs. There are still 2 divisions that are still up for grabs. The number 1 seeds in both conferences are still up for grabs. So you're going to have it's going to be a lot of flux, a lot of moving parts, a lot of if this team wins, if that team loses, or whatever. I try to detail it as best as you can. Let's start out with Saturday games. Games Saturday, January 3rd, all times Eastern Standard. Check your local listings for the games that are being played in your area. Do keep in mind, like I said, this is a doubleheader week for both networks. No 405 games. All games are either at 1 or 425. With the Sunday night game, which I still do not understand why Pittsburgh and Baltimore got the Sunday night game. I would have put the San Francisco-Seattle game in on Sunday night. And team can't play 2 straight home games on Sunday night. Why not? But it's, of course, we all know what it is. It's the NFL has to have one more shot of Aaron before he retires. And we'll get into that when we get to it at the bottom of the podcast. But anyway, excuse me, my throat keeps bothering me. Let's start out with the 8-8 Panthers taking on the 7-9 Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. 4:30 Eastern kickoff on ABC and ESPN. The Buccaneers 2.5 point favorites. Last week, the Panthers lost to the Seahawks 27-10. while the Buccaneers lost to the Dolphins 20-17. The free fall of the Bucs is as dramatic as it is frightening. At one time, people were talking about the Buccaneers were going to be a sure shot for the Super Bowl. Now they are struggling just to make the playoffs. They could win and still not be in, and they could still lose the game to Carolina and still be out. If the Falcons win and it makes a three-way tie at 8-9, the Falcons eliminate the Bucs, and then the Panthers eliminate the Falcons. Does that make sense? No. I saw that tiebreaker and it didn't make any sense. The Panthers can just eliminate the Buccaneers by winning. They win and they're in. But the Buccaneers still have to win and hope to get a little bit of help. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's the way the NFL these days. But I think that the Panthers just make everything academic by winning the game and winning outright. The pick here is Carolina. Next on the docket, we have the 13-3 Seahawks taking on the 12-4 49ers at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 8 p.m. kickoff on ABC and ESPN. These Seahawks are 1.5-point favorites. Last week, the Seahawks defeated the Panthers 27-10, while the 49ers defeated the Bears 2-38. Good game on Saturday night. I mean, I've always been partial to Saturday night games anyway, but this one, A1 Primo. The 49ers behind Brock Purdy have really sharpened up their offense and have looked crisp. Christian McCaffrey, even though he didn't practice on Tuesday, I think he'll still be good to go. The 49ers offense is just top notch. And the Seahawks, say what you want about Sam Darnold. Doggone, I wish he was still with the Vikings. But say what you want about Sam Darnold. He does just enough. Excuse me. He does just enough to get the Seahawks into position to score and win games. It may not be aesthetically pleasing, but they do the job. This is a tough call. I still don't think the Seahawks have what it takes to go on the road and win a big game. Yeah, they went to Carolina and won. But I still don't think going into Charlotte and winning is the same as going into San Francisco and winning. The 49ers are super tough at home. And I think it'll be another tight game, but I think that the 49ers can pull it out, win the division, and not only get the number one seed. They win the division, get the number one seed, they stay in San Francisco as long as they're in the playoffs. And that includes the Super Bowl, which is in Levi Stadium. They get the bye and only have to win 2 games to stay at home. And I think this is the first step for them to playing a home Super Bowl. Pick here is San Francisco. Let's turn to the Sunday games of Sunday, January 4th. We will lead off with the 9-6-1 Packers taking on the 8-8 Vikings at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. 1 o'clock kickoff on CBS. The Vikings are 7.5-point favorites. Last week, the Vikings defeated the Lions 23-10, while the Packers lost to the Ravens 41-24. Now, ordinarily, most people would say the Packers grinding their way to the playoffs. They're already locked into the 7th seed, and they would be heavy favorites. The problem is the Packers wasted a brilliant performance by Malik Willis against a so-so Ravens defense. The Vikings defense is top-notch. They bring all sorts of crazy blitzes and come at you at crazy angles. Their defense, secondary, top-notch. Their offense, Max Brosmer had 3 net passing yards. 3. Not 30, not 33, not 333. 3. He was sacked 7 times. And I don't think the Packers defense, while decent, is going to be enough to keep the Vikings offense, who can be patchwork at best, out of trouble. This is going to be a tight game. But I think the Vikings go into the offseason feeling good about themselves. And even though they'll be a half game behind the Packers, wishing that game hadn't been finished in a tie. Because if that game had finished in a tie, had the Packers lost that game, they'd be playing for the 7th seed, and the Vikings still could be able to sneak in the playoffs. But as it stands now, it's a cookie game. I think the Packers rest a lot of their players in anticipation of playing the 2-7 game next week, and really don't care about this game. And the Vikings should roll easily. The pick here are the Minnesota Vikings. Next on the docket, we have the 8-8 Colts taking on the 11-5 Texans at I almost said Reliant NRG Stadium in Houston. 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS. The Texans are 9.5-point favorites. Last week, Colts lost to the Jaguars 23-17, while the Texans defeated the Chargers 20-16. The Colts have basically swan dived, similar to the Buccaneers, from many people thought Super Bowl contender to basically also ran. Losing Daniel Jones was not the best thing to happen to this team. And once they lost Daniel Jones, their offensive mojo went down south. They tried to bring in Phillip Rivers, but he couldn't get the ball past 10 yards downfield, and the Colts have basically come apart at the seams. Riley Leonard's going to take the snaps at QB1 for the Colts, but it really doesn't matter. This team is falling apart. The Texans, trying desperately to run down the Jags in the AFC South, need every win they can get. They need to win and hope for help. But I think even though the Texans will win this game, I still think they're going to be hitting the road as a wild card. So they're going to celebrate in front of their fans by winning big. This game will not be pretty. The pick here is the Houston Texans. Next on the docket, we have the 7-8-1 Cowboys taking on the 3-13 Giants at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 1 o'clock kickoff on Fox. The Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites. Last week, Cowboys defeated the Commanders 30-23. While the Giants defeated the Raiders 34-10. Both teams coming in off of fairly surprising road wins. The Pokes have been playing pretty decently, I would say up and down, even though they've been eliminated from the playoff contention for a while. The G-Men, they're liking the way Jackson Dart is playing. And I think that they feel that they can grow with Jackson Dart and will give him every chance to prove himself. Winning home finale is not in the cards, though, for the G-Men. I think the Pokes finish strong and say, see, we still them boys. We are going to be good next year. Same old song and dance. But I don't think that this game pretty much is for a cookie. But I think the Pokes finish strong. The pick here is Dallas. Next on the docket, we have the 4-12 Browns taking on the 6-10 Bengals at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. 1 o'clock kickoff on CBS. The Bengals are 7.5-point favorites. Last week, the Browns defeated the Steelers 13-6, while the Bengals defeated the Cardinals 37-14. The Battle of Ohio ends the season for both of these teams, as the Battle of Ohio started the season for both of these teams. The Browns shocked the Steelers by playing way over their heads and defeating their hated rival in their home finale, while the Bengals have all of a sudden found their offense and their defense, who knew, is actually playing halfway decent and winning their last couple of meaningless games. I think that Myles Garrett will get the sack record against a so-so Bengals offensive line, because the Bengals do take a lot of sacks, but I don't think that Shedeur Sanders is going to find the going as easy as he did against the Steelers defense. Even though the Bengals defense isn't that good, I still don't think that Shedeur Sanders will be able to get the kind of points needed to beat the Bengals in a shootout. And I think it will be a shootout. I think both teams will bring the points, but I think the Bengals will be able to finish the season on a high note. The pick here is Cincinnati. Next on the docket, we have the 6-10 Saints taking on the 7-9 Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. 1 o'clock kickoff on Fox. The Falcons are 3-point favorites. Last week, the Saints defeated the Titans 34-26, while the Falcons defeated the Rams 27-24. The Falcons are finishing strong, and you wonder, had they not gone to sleep at the switch in the middle part of the season, would they be contending for the NFC South title? They really could have, but they got their rears in gear a little too late, and now they're just playing out the string, even though they could ruin the Buccaneers' chances at a title by winning the tiebreaker if they win here. The Saints, on the other hand, have also been playing fairly strong themselves. They've won their last 3 games and have played fairly impressive doing it. This is a fairly tough call because both these teams have been playing well, even though they're playing out the string. I'm going to flip a coin, and I'm probably going to regret this. No, I can't depend on Kirk Cousins. Every time I depend on Kirk Cousins, he does something stupid, like play good. I won't depend on Kirk Cousins. I'll depend on Bijan Robinson, who had a monster game against a good Rams defense. I think he'll find the slating a little easier against a so-so Saints defense. Pick here is Atlanta. And watch Kirk Cousins throw 4 interceptions and Bijan Robinson have 40 yards rushing. It'll just be by luck. Let's take a time out, come back with the second half of the Week 18 picks. Sports from the Hoodwood, NFL picks only, rolls on after this.
You're tuned into Sports from the Hoodwood, the internet's foremost location for no-nonsense commentary, insight, and opinions on the world of sports. Here now live in living color, black by popular demand, your host, KJ Green.
Okay, let's finish up the Week 18 NFL picks. Next on the docket, we have the 3-13 Titans taking on the 12-4 Jaguars. Bank Stadium in Jacksonville. 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox. The Jags are 12.5-point favorites. Last week, the Titans lost to the Saints 34-26, while the Jaguars defeated the Colts 23-17. The Jags can win the AFC South with a win outright, no matter what Houston does. They need to take care of business. Titans have been playing decently as of late. They haven't had the wins to show for it. But Cam Ward is improving as an NFL signal caller. That will be evident in later years to come. But for the here and now, he's going to find the sledding a lot tougher against a Jags defense that has just been winning. They have 7 in a row in the win column after they lost to the Texans in Week 10. They have not lost since. That includes going into tough venues like Denver and Indianapolis and pulling out tough wins. I think that they will solidify their playoff slot. They still have an outside shot of getting that number 1 seed, but they need a lot of things to go right, including Denver to lose. And the Patriots, I believe, also have to lose. But they will lock up the AFC South with this win, I think, in front of their home crowd. They get the job done. The pick here is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that is the lock of the week. Next on the docket, we turn to the late games. The first one on the docket is the 3-13 Cardinals taking on the 11-5 Rams at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. 4:25 kickoff on Fox. The Rams are 7-point favorites. Last week, the Cardinals lost to the Bengals 37-14, while the Rams lost to the Falcons 27-24. The Rams had a nasty pratfall in Atlanta in a game they really should have won. I thought they should have won the game easily, but they let Bijan Robinson run all over them to the tune of 200-plus total yards from scrimmage. They head home to lick their wounds, and guess who's in front of them? A tasty bird by the name of the Arizona Cardinals, who have been scaring nobody for pretty much the balance of the season, and they have basically been playing out the strings since probably Halloween. That being said, the Rams had better not fall asleep with a switch, unless they fall even further down. They are right now currently locked into the 5 seed, but a loss could actually push them down to the 6 seed and a nice little trip back east to take on Philadelphia. They don't want to do that. This is their home finale because they can't even win the NFC West. So they're going to play this like the last home game of the season, and they're going to trample on the Cardinals. Here is the LA Rams. Next on the docket, we have the 11-5 Chargers taking on the 13-3 Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. 4:25 kickoff on CBS. The Broncos are 12.5-point favorites. Last week, the Chargers lost to the Texans 20-16, while the Broncos defeated the Chiefs 20-13. Now, the Chargers basically know that they are locked into a 5 or 6 seed in the AFC, that they're going to be going on the road for the playoffs. So they're resting a lot of their starters. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, both will probably be seeing behind time for the Chargers, while the Broncos trying to lock up that number 1 seed and ensuring that the playoffs go through Mile High are going to leave nothing to chance. They remember last year when they played Kansas City, and Kansas City had nothing to win, and they trampled on them to get their playoff spot. But this time, they need the win. They're going to get it. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty easy game. The pick here is Denver. Next on the docket, we have the 6-10 Chiefs taking on the 2-14 Raiders at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. 4:25 kickoff on CBS. The Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. Last week, the Chiefs lost to the Broncos 20-13, while the Raiders lost to the Giants 34-10. This, you didn't think you'd ever hear this. The Chiefs are playing out the string. They have nothing to play for. They're down to their, 7th string quarterback after losing both Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew in the last couple of weeks. This team just wants it all to be over. They will head to Vegas to take on the Raiders team, who couldn't care less on their front door sign, as they are gearing up to try to get the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft. The Chiefs will have at least one something to hang their hats on, because the Raiders are just bad. Unless they give the ball to Ashton Jeanty 40 times and hope he runs over their kind of suspect run defense, I think the Chiefs should have the game pretty much well in hand. The pick here is Kansas City. Next on the docket, we have the 7-9 Dolphins taking on the 12-4, 13-3 Patriots. Don't say 12-4; they're 13-3 at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. 4:25 kickoff on Fox. The Patriots are 10.5-point favorites. Last week, the Dolphins defeated the Buccaneers 20-17, while the Patriots defeated the Jets 42-10. The Patriots are trying to at least, at very worst, lock up a 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. They still have an outside chance of getting that 1, but they're going to need to win and get help. The Dolphins have been playing pretty good down the stretch and have been causing a lot of trouble, even though they got run over by the Bengals 2 weeks ago. But they have been playing fairly decently, and I think that might just save Mike Daniels' job. But the Patriots are in no mood to play charitable. They want to lock up as high a seed as possible. This game will not be pretty. The pick here is New England. Okay. Next on the docket, we have the 4-12 Commanders taking on the 11-5 Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. 4:25 kickoff on CBS. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. Last week, the Eagles, I beg your pardon, I'll try it again. Last week, the Commanders lost to the Cowboys 30-23, while the Eagles defeated the Bills 13-12. Now, the Eagles have long since locked up the NFC East, and they want to get as high a seed as possible. They want to at least keep ahead of the Bears, who they lost to earlier in the season, heading home to face the Commanders, who have been playing respectable, though they don't have any wins to show for it. I think the Eagles will grind out another ugly win at home and finish the season at least ahead, hoping that the Packers do them, the Lions do them a solid and keep the Bears out of their rearview mirror, because if they finish tied with the Bears, they want to at least have the 2 seed, because that means they would have to avoid a higher seeded team in the playoffs. That's messed up. Anyway, the Eagles want to get the win badly so they don't have to face a higher seed in the playoffs. I think they get that win and hope the Lions do them a solid. by beating the Bears. The pick here is Philadelphia. Next on the docket, we have 8-8 Lions taking on the 11-5 Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago. 4:25 kickoff on Fox. The Bears are 3-point favorites. Last week, the Lions lost to the Vikings 23-10, while the Bears lost to the 49ers 42-38. Both these teams coming in off of kind of unexpected losses. Well, the Bears losing a shootout beside the Bay to the 49ers wasn't so much expected. They did have a shot to win that at the end. They dragged their tails home to face the Lions, who have just been mailing it in the last 3 weeks after losing to the Steelers and losing to the Vikings on Christmas. They found that lump of coal in their stocking, and they will not be going to the playoffs. So does that mean the Lions mail it in? No, I think that they will give the Bears all they can handle, treat this like a playoff game, and try to keep the Bears from clinching a 2 seed in the NFC. That being said, I think the Bears bounce back strong and edge the Lions in a tough touch shootout. The pick here is the Chicago Bears. Next, finally on the afternoon docket, we have the 3-13 Jets taking on the 11-5 Bills at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. 4:25 kickoff on CBS. The Bills are 7-point favorites. Last week, the Jets lost to the Last week, the Jets lost to the Patriots 42-10, while the Bills lost to the Eagles 13-12. The Bills are going to the playoffs, albeit as a wild card. They will close out Highmark Stadium, not with playoff games, they hope, but at least with a home finale that they can beat up on the Jets. And I'm pretty sure the Jets, who have been mailing it in since, I think, Labor Day, the Jets have been pretty much mailing it in all season. They are playing like just total crap down the stretch. The Bills will want to kick around the Jets to close their old stadium, because they're moving basically across the parking lot to their new facility next year. They will close out the stadium with a big win. The pick here is the Buffalo Bills. Finally on the docket for the Sunday night game, we have the 8-8 Ravens taking on the 9-7 Steelers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. 8:20 kickoff on NBC and Peacock. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. Last week, the Ravens defeated the Packers 41-24, while the Steelers lost to the Browns 13-6. The Steelers had the division in their hands. Go to Cleveland, beat the Wobegon Browns, you got the division locked up. No sweat. And what do? Pratfall badly, and not scoring a single touchdown against the lowly Browns. Now, that suspension for DK Metcalf guy is going to hurt the Steelers, hurt them badly. Now, the Ravens are just going to lean on Derrick Henry, as they should, and lean on him and run the ball down the Steelers' throat. Even though I still say, even though the Ravens are favored in this game, going to Pittsburgh is a tall order. That's why I'm making it the very end the Baltimore Ravens, the Hoodwood upset of the week. And there you have it. Last week went 8-8. No cheers, no boos, just straight silence. Overall, 171, 84-1, 15-2 on the locks, 9-8 on the upset. And that will do it from the Hoodwood. I promise we'll have a full show coming up in the next few days, and we will get back on track because we'll have fewer games to review and more topics. So until next time, fellow sports fans, I'm Nearly Bev's son, KJ Green.
Sports from the Hoodwood is a Black Bandit Productions and Enterprises presentation of a 551 Audio and Films production.